Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Sexline TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania. And that is how you close a mania.
What else will you get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw Aftershow, NXT Aftershow, and of course a Friday Night SmackDown Aftershow. You'll also get a recap of all the Big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime, and that is on the ancestors, baby. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only. Okay, so it took me a minute, but I am here. Hello, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys enjoyed NXT Battleground. I am exhausted, but I am going to do this because I love you, and I promised that I will go live after this show came on. We're going to talk about NXT Battleground because that's the one I watched from start to finish. And we're going to talk about Double or Nothing because there was a bunch of surprises that happened at Double or Nothing. And honestly, I wasn't shocked about one of them, but I was very shocked about the other. So we're going to get into all of that in just a moment, okay? We're going to talk about it all. The wins, the losses, we're going to talk about everything, okay? So, let me get my stuff ready to roll. All right, top commenters of the day, the night, goes to one of my moderators. Donnie was here first, and one of my other moderators, Kenny, was also here first. And then, of course, you got Kayla. Kayla ain't gonna let y'all be her, okay? Kayla is always in the top 3 or 4. It's a rarity that Miss Mamas is late. So I respect and love Kayla for that because she is always here. She is always ready, and she always supports, which I love. And I appreciate more than she know. Ooh, she got alternative gear. Very cute. Girl, you be making some nice gear for your calls. My shit be regular deckling. Yours be all decked out and pretty and shit. Oh, I can't stand him sometimes. Anyway, thank you to my top commenters who came in early and was ready to roll. As soon as I went live, I did not tell anybody I was going live. I was still getting stuff together. I figured I'd have a little bit of time to get stuff together while y'all came in, but I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. Another one of my moderators is here. Hello, Aaliyah. Like I said, Kayla's here. Pierre is here. Quan is here. B. Jeffers is here. Young boy Jay. Hello. John Hill. And of course, I got my regular Dudley. Oh, and I got another moderator. I got Rico in here. All right.
I have to have enough space to make you a moderator, and I just don't I have too many people as moderators. So as soon as I get a spot open, Kayla, I will make you a moderator. Okie dokie. No worries. Shout out to Kenny. She said, click that bell now. Please make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe when you come into the chat box, okay? When you are watching the show as I am presenting it to you, because, babes, it really helps. The subscription box, when you guys subscribe, it really helps YouTube push my channel as well. And the more money I make, the more I can focus on my channel, and the more professional my channel will get, the more times you will see me on here doing my job every single week. Okay? I will not. Aaliyah does her job. Stop it. Stop it. As soon as I get a space, Kayla, I will make you a moderator, no problem. Okay? Because you're always here. I never have to worry about you showing up or not showing up. You are always, always, always here. But let me see if I let me see. Let me see what I can do for Miss Kayla. Let me see. Do I have enough space to make her a moderator? No. Oh, I don't have enough. Yeah, that's the only problem is that I don't have enough space to make you a moderator, but I will definitely make you a moderator when I have the space. I promise. Okie dokie. Hello, FazeCon. How are you? Thank you for the wave. I appreciate that. I don't get waves often in this chat, so I appreciate that. More than you know. Thank you. All right. So I put my chat up so I can see everything. I can see all the people in here. I got y'all all in here. All right. Send me my coins. Thank you. Okay. So if you didn't watch NXT, Battleground, you really missed a very solid, perfect pay-per-view. It really was perfectly done, perfectly booked. I had no issues with this pay-per-view. I thought it looked great. It they had it in Massachusetts and Lowell, which I believe is very close to Boston, because when Carmelo came out, they was tripping. But it was an amazing pay-per-view. I really, really enjoyed it. So we're gonna get right into it, okay? Justice for Casey. We're gonna get into it. So let's start off with the first match. The first match was Wesley versus Tyler Bate versus Joe Gacy. I will say this about Triple H and Shawn Michaels. One thing they know how to do is set the tone for a pay-per-view. Oftentimes we question a lot of the things that they do, but when in the end they seem to be very consistent with ensuring that those PLEs go a specific way, that those PLEs move a specific way, and that they have a specific tone to them. And what we got was excellence in the beginning. Joe Gacy looked absolutely amazing in this match with Wesley and Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate did great, and Wesley was exceptional. The reason why Wesley won is because he was one win away from setting a record for the most title defenses and the in for the NXT North American Championship. He's had the most title defenses, and he's won the most title defenses. Obviously, it's title defenses, so he's won them. But that's the reason why he was able to retain that title. They was one win away from doing it. So they weren't gonna just let him walk away and not keep that championship and break that record. So that was one of the reasons why I believe he was able to stay and maintain that title. Otherwise, I was dead set on Gacy getting that belt. And I know everybody in the comments, and Nicole, shout out to Nicole, because she wanted Tyler Bate to win. I would not have cared who won, but I was dead set on Gacy. I feel like oftentimes what happens in NXT and on the main roster is a lot of people get overlooked and they provide something that somebody else doesn't. Gacy is the antithesis to what Wesley is. He's a ball of fire, and Wesley has this magnetic personality of positivity. Whereas Joe Gacy presents himself as someone who's positive and loving and happy in the end, but he's a master manipulator. And the good thing about Joe Gacy is the way he operates makes everyone around him turn on each other. If you really pay attention to that, I think as not as a, when he's chasing something, when he's going after something, he has the ability to change people around him. And I think that's Joe Gacy's biggest gift. I'm going to say I wanted him to have the championship, but I'm not sure how it would look with him having it. I want Joe Gacy to be a menace in the worst way possible. But having that title, I don't want him to turn into what Bray Wyatt was when he was the Fiend and he got the title and we lost a little bit of that magic that Bray Wyatt had. Now, the way that they can circumvent that and not turn him into that is to go the route that they went with The Undertaker when he had the title and he was an evil heel. You've got to be able to let Joe Gacy gain people to follow him and continue to terrorize the roster. He has Ava Raine, which I think they've done a good job at making her into an integral part of why Joe Gacy is as insane as he is. She is always a problem. I was watching an interview with Kendrick Lamar, and it was one of his first interviews. And he said the first time they asked him, like, your entourage is really small. You don't have a lot of women around you. That's not normal for a rapper. Why is that? He said, the downfall of every man is usually a woman. He didn't mean it like women aren't shit. He meant it like when you are distracted and you're utilizing women as your distraction, it could take you off your game. Joe Gacy's, though, is that Ava Raine is a big part of how he ticks. She pushes him to do some of the things that he does. I believe if they continue to utilize her and let her be what Scarlett was to Karrion Kross, then you can have something that could really work with Joe Gacy. Keeping her with him is what's going to keep Gacy going after the things that he really wants. I think that if Joe Gacy keeps going after Wes Lee, he can have that championship. But we got a little glimpse of what Joe Gacy could be capable of because he was able to turn Tyler Bate and Wes Lee on each other without a lot of influence. All it took was a little whisper in the ear. And I think that's Joe Gacy's biggest superpower. So patience is key when it comes to Joe Gacy. We need to wait. Trust me. But they had a really good match. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I was very happy. But Wes Lee did retain his championship, and he is still your North American champion. They did an excellent job on this pay-per-view. I am not gonna lie. I really enjoyed this match specifically. This was one of my favorites, and I still think it's the best match of the night. But I'm gonna get to the next one in a second. Sir, Noam Dar and Dragon Lee had the Heritage Cup Championship match. I had never seen a Heritage Cup match. And it's very much like a boxing match. They gave it had 3 rounds, right? At 6? It had 6 rounds. 6 3-minute rounds it had. And they Noam Dar picked up the first win. Dragon Lee picked up the second. And then in the final throes of it, Oro Mensah came in and he was already goaded to sign to be a part of Noam Dar and to help him out a little bit. And, well, he did help. Nathan Frazier got upset. And Nathan Frazier and Oro ended up fighting, to which they ended up getting thrown out of the match. But the interesting part about this is that Noam Dar had Jakara and Lash come out there and help him win. This took me out. Now, I have been telling y'all for a while that Noam Dar is for the people, okay? He is down for the culture. I don't know what's going on with this man, but that man loves him some black women. He always has. And his girlfriend is black.
it's just weird to see, and it's not that it's a bad thing. I'm happy for Lash and Jakara. It was some heel shit, true enough, but I kind of prepared myself for that because this is Noam Dar. If you're not aware of how Noam Dar operates, then you are clearly not watching NXT UK, but you also weren't watching the cruiserweight division either. You would have got a clear glimpse of how Noam Dar operates. He is a very much win at all costs. He's slightly more conniving than the Miz is. Miz is a little bit more transparent. Noam Dar is the kind of guy who sneaks up behind you if you're not paying attention. He will bust you in the back and pretend like he ain't did nothing, and then turn around and help you up like he ain't bust you in the back of your head. That's the kind of guy Noam Dar operates as. But child, listen, I never would have guessed that Lash Legend and Jakara would come out. And that's one thing that I do like about Shawn Michaels and how he books. Nicole hit the nail on the head. Shawn Michaels is not afraid to push the talent out there that needs to go out there. This is how it should be. Consistent rotation of talent. It was time. You lost like Indy Hartwell for the women's division. You lost Zoe. You lost two of your tag team and singles competitors in Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. What's that? That's four women in your division that are gone. You've got all those girls in the back who've been working their asses off on NXT Level Up. You pulled Lash from the main roster of NXT back down to Level Up. And now you've given them the opportunity to be able to showcase what they're capable of. Heel or face, it doesn't matter. All I care about is that the girls get their time to shine. You've got Jakara, you've got Lash out there, and now you've been able to give Oro Mensah purpose as well. That's how you're supposed to do it. This is what we're supposed to see, a consistent movement of talent through NXT. That is the only way you're going to maintain that roster and push through the next level, next in line people as well. They've been doing that very well and consistently. I am very excited for what NXT is going to be offering for the next year, and I'm curious as to how this will play out when it comes to the main roster in the draft next year. Okay, it is really, really, really good. It's really good, and I'm very, very happy for Jakara and for Lash for being able to be seen, especially in a PLE, for them to be able to get time, and they're probably going to end up on NXT, which this is going to give them even more time. So I'm very happy for both of them. And I'm happy for Oro because he's a great wrestler. He hasn't been getting any shine as of lately, but as the old feuds have been pushed out, they are starting to bring in new people. And that's the smartest thing that Shawn Michaels has ever been able to do. Ever since William Regal brought his ass back to WWE, the changes in NXT have been imminent, and I'm starting to believe it's got a lot to do with William Regal. I'm starting to believe that. I'm starting to believe it's got a lot to do with William Regal. I could be wrong, but I really do think that it has a lot to do with William Regal. Anyways, let me go to y'all comments to see what y'all talking about in here. Aaliyah said Lash and Noam have been pals for a couple years. They were on Supernova sessions together in NXT UK. Good chemistry together, too. Well, I'm just telling you, Noam Dar has chemistry with a lot of black women. And that's because he just likes black women. Like, I'm being honest, he just likes black women. For real, he loves the sisters. I'm here for it. Facts. I'm happy for him. I'm highly interested in this potential faction. I only been live for 19 minutes. No worries, Nicole. NXT women always get time. Certain women get time in NXT, not all of them. So what I was saying earlier was that the girls get time, but not all of them. So I'm happy that girl on you've been out of it since this afternoon. You okay? I'm happy that the girls are getting time, but what I'm saying is these particular girls have been on NXT Level Up for quite some time. So them being pushed up now to the main roster, I mean, not to the main roster, but to the main roster of NXT, really gives them a good time to be able to shine and do what they know how to do best, which is work that crowd and be great in the ring. Lash Legend showed glimpses of greatness all in her, throughout her first run in NXT, and now she's getting an opportunity. You got Jakara coming up with her, which is going to give Jakara a bit of a boost. They both have potential to be great. Lash in her own right is a potential NXT Women's Champion at some point down the line. Jakara could possibly be one at some point down the line. If they give them to tag team championships again, they most definitely could have them as tag team champions. There's a lot of potential between these two. And Noam Dar bringing them into the fold like that really gave them a boost, and it really worked out for them. I'm really, really happy for you. Hold tight. I'm just getting y'all messages. Let me get it in. You've been out of it since this afternoon. I haven't been paying attention to NXT as much, but after I went to Battleground, I will definitely be tuning in more. NXT is a hidden gem that a lot of people are not watching or following, and I really wish that they would. Sometimes people get caught up in what NXT used to be, and you have to be able to move forward and try new things. And NXT is a budding ground, a beautiful breeding ground for amazing talent, which I'm going to get to some of that talent in a second, but I've just given Noam Dar and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was absolutely amazing today. The rules for the Heritage Cup is what kind of hindered Dragon Lee a little bit. But if Dragon Lee had got that timer down and been able to do his stuff a little faster, move a little quicker, get Noam Dar down a little quicker, he probably would have got those drops and wins a little bit faster. But I think that's where he failed, was that he likes to do a lot of high flying and a lot of showmanship. And in this kind of match, technical skills are what's going to win. That thinking wrestler is what's going to win, because all they're concerned about is the drops. That's it. That high flying and shit works, but it's not going to give you the W. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put in a lot of work for that. You know what I'm saying? I found out my sous chef I work with super closely while I was at the Hyatt died this afternoon. Oh, Nicole, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, honey. She said it was right when I got home from my friend's B-Day party. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you gonna be okay? All right. I'm gonna wait in the chat till she responds, but I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next match. What was the next match, Ilya? You remember? What match came up next after Noam Dar and Dragon Lee? Wasn't it Ilya Dragunov and Dijak that came up next? Yeah, thank you, Donnie. Thank you. So it was them next. It was them next. Okay. She said, I'll be okay. It's just messed up. She's been doing well and was clean for almost a year. Got a good job and a house. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, honey. And it's looking like she relapsed. Oh, goodness. I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ignore you, or I wanted to get I was in the middle of doing that. Now I wanted to make sure you were okay first. Because that's rough. All right. So Ilya and Dijak had their match. I didn't get to see everything that happened in this match. I only got to see parts of it. She said, no, you're good. I came in here to take my mind off it. Okay. So I'll leave it alone. But if you want to talk to me, you know where to find me. Okay? Alrighty. So I didn't get to see much of this match. I was cooking dinner for tomorrow with the hubs, and he had it on his phone. So I heard it, but I didn't get to see it. So no promises. So Can you tell me what happened? Because I know that Ilya won, and he won with that forearm with Dijak. But is that like the big? That was the big finish, though, right?
Yeah, that was pretty much how.
Did they have any bigger spots?
I mean, it was just situations where, like I told you, the one spot where they Dijak, when he got the kendo stick, it was hitting him across the chest with the kendo stick. There was a situation earlier in the match where Ilya tried to go for that forearm earlier in the match, but when he went for it, Dijak kicked him in the face from when he was laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And like
excuse me.
They was beating the shit
That
out
was
of each other
rude.
with the
Excuse
damn,
me.
with the stair steps. It was a lot going on in that match.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did they have good chemistry in the match?
Yeah, they've always had good chemistry. It's just that the last couple matches before this one, Dijak would just do some shit to either get himself disqualified.
Hi, AT2. Look at the YouTube celebrity in my live, Jerry. He over here chilling and listening in the background. Thank you, AT2. I appreciate the help. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, from what I saw, they had a pretty decent showing, but it wasn't, I don't know. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. From what I saw and what I heard, it was just a lot of Dijak pretty much beating down on Ilya. And while, yes, that's okay, I needed Ilya to have a bit more offense. So I will say this. I expected more from this match, and I didn't get that much. This match obviously was not meant to showcase Ilya and Dijak going back and forth. This match was to show Ilya's resilience.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. It was a showcase for him to show how much pain he could really endure and how much brutalization he could take. Which that's all well and good, but Ilya Dragunov works well when he can match energies. And in his case, the kind of match that he had with Walter is the kind of match that he should have had in this last man standing match. Dijak was overtly dominant in this match, and he damn well shouldn't have been. Walter is a bigger opponent. He's a more aggressive opponent, and he's far more devastating than Dijak is. This is no shade to Dijak, but we're just comparing at this point, right? You put him in a match with Walter, and Ilya shined like a diamond in that match. Despite getting beat down by Walter, he also was brutalizing Walter. Do you get what I'm saying? In this match, however, from what I saw, that's not what happened here. Ilya was beat down majority of this match. Like, he had that man. Didn't he have him tied up in the ropes, hitting him with the kendo sticks?
Yeah.
What's wrong, baby? Yeah. Ow.
Sorry,
yeah, no problem. Did you get your medicine for tonight? You get some in the morning. Make sure you lay under the blanket. Okay? Keep yourself under that blanket because it's gonna be cold down there. Okay? Go get you some sleep. It'll hit you in a minute. Where's my blanket? It should be downstairs folded up in the chair. Make sure CJ didn't take it.
No, he didn't. Your wing the poop blanket's folded up in the chair.
Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to handle my nephew and make sure my husband was okay. His allergies are acting up real bad. Anyways, what was I talking about? Dijak and Ilya?
Yeah.
Okay, I expected more from this match. I expected a lot more from Ilya. I didn't get it. This wasn't one of my favorite matches of the night, but it wasn't a bad match. However, Ilya was able to capitalize and beat Dijak tonight. So Ilya Dragunov is your winner. Dijak lost another big PLE again. I don't know how this is going to work out for him, but I mean, it's working out for Karrion, I guess. So I guess it'll work out for him in the end. I'm not sure. But I really want Ilya to go to the main roster and start wreaking some havoc on some people. I just think... Oh, Kristen's in there. I just want to see what they're capable of when it comes to that. He said that shit was brutal. Yeah, it was. Um, Make sure you guys, if you're listening to this and you're listening to it in the playback, or you're listening to it live, that you guys move yourself up to live. Just press that little word that says live on the YouTube, right next to the volume button, so that you can catch up to where I am. That way you guys won't be behind in the show. That right next to the live, it should be a red dot next to it. That'll let you know that you're caught up in the show and you're not, catching the stuff in the, behind. With all that being said, we covered Wesley. Okay. Some of you guys came in a little late. Donnie said them kendo shots gave him PTSD. Baby, that was rough. That was rough. I'm not shitting on the match at all. It just wasn't what I expected it to be. So Wesley beat out Joe Gacy and Tyler Bate. Noam Dar outsmarted Dragon Lee and Nathan Frazier. And Ilya Dragunov beat Dijak in their last man standing match. Now, the next match that we got, they split it up and gave us the tag team match. I didn't watch this match. I'm not gonna lie. This match has been seen for me a couple of times. I didn't need to see it again. I knew it was gonna be a good match. Gallus and the Creed brothers put on amazing matches all the time. So I'm not mad at this match at all. I just wasn't interested in it. And I knew that the Creed brothers were not gonna win this match. Quite frankly, if you ask me, they should have been drafted in the draft and they could have had Gallus going up against Dyad today. And even if they would have lost, they still would have been on the PLE. Okay. So what happened in the end was that Ava Raine came down to kind of work against Ivy and the Creed brothers. Ivy had been her kryptonite for weeks when it came to the Dyad and even to Joe Gacy. And so Ava Raine wanted to give her a little taste of her own medicine. And basically what she did was she came down there and pushed Ivy into the post. Ivy busted her face on the post. And Julius, instead of paying attention in the ring, was focused on Ivy. Okay? So Julius ended up getting taken out by Gallus, and that was the end of that. Murder, She Wrote. They could retain their championships, and that was it. Don said the high points was Ivy taking out the lead and Ava taking out Ivy. Well, it is what it is. So Gallus retained their championships, and they are still your tag team champions, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they are still your tag team champions. The last two matches of the night were the championship matches, okay? So you had Tiffany Stratton and Lyra Valkyria wrestling for this NXT Women's Championship. Now, Lyra Valkyria was going in there at a disadvantage, and it seems like Tiffany always lucks out when her opponents are going into her matches with some type of ailment because she targets them with precision and takes them out. And that's exactly what happened with Lyra Valkyria. There were a couple of points where Lyra could have beaten Tiffany Stratton, but Tiffany Stratton was unrelenting. And ultimately, Tiffany Stratton has become your NXT Women's Champion. And I knew it was happening, so I prepared myself for it. That's not something that I really care about. I mean, she can have the championship, in my opinion. I'm not going to watch Tiffany's promos. I cringe every time that woman gets on the microphone. I don't like it. Her match quality is great. She put on a banger of a match with Valkyria today. I will give her that. She performed exceptionally well, but she sounded like a 12-year-old on the microphone, and I hate it. So as far as I'm concerned, in regards to her championship reign, if it's going to be anything close to what we got with Mandy Rose outside of her match quality, because we already know that that's 10 times better, I'm not going to be here for it. I'm not going to watch it. It's totally up to y'all. I'm glad that y'all got one of y'all faves in here to be champion, and she has won. I'm happy for y'all, but for me personally, it's deja vu for me, so I don't really care one way or another. I'm glad she performed exceptionally well in this match, though, and I'm glad she gave Valkyria a run for her money. And Valkyria didn't let Tiffany just win and just bowl over her. Tiffany had to beat Valkyria down so she couldn't come back up again to get that championship. And it's very clear that Tiffany is a Shawn Michaels girl, so she got the red carpet rolled out for her from the time she came back all the way up until now. She has been the girls. So as whatever works for y'all, that's your business. But me personally, I'm I'm indifferent. I like the matches, but I don't care for the character. Boy, shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody asked you. Ain't nobody asked you nothing, Don. Ain't nobody asked you nothing. Ugh. He's so petty. Like, anyways. Shut, tell that to shut the fuck up. Anybody ask your ass nothing? Yes. I see what you mean. I get into her character more if she had a mouthpiece. I mean, she said, I don't like the character, but sis was wrestling. I'll give her that. She put on a banger of a match. I will never take away what Tiffany Stratton has been able to do within the time frame that she has debuted up until now. She looks like one of the most solid wrestlers I've seen come out of NXT from that Next in Line program. She is exceptional. I will never ever take that from her. I just don't like her character. So I'm a little indifferent. I'm okay with her being champion because, like I said last night and the night before, her match quality is never going to be bad depending on who she goes up against. But her character gets on my nerves. Her promo skills lack, and she knows that. Which I'm glad that she has acknowledged where she's not great at, or the areas that she's a little weak in. I'm okay with that. And I respect that from her as a competitor. But she gets on my nerves so much. Oh my goodness. He said, hey, these are just the facts. Child boom. Okay. He said, I think they're onto something with this center of the universe, but if I were her, I'd be reaching out to Maurice. Maurice ain't a bad call, honestly. If they're going to keep her as a heel character, Maurice would not be a bad call at all. I feel like they're going to turn her face soon, anyways. I don't know how I would feel about a face Tiffany Stratton. I'm going to be honest. Like Chelsea Green. Now, see, I don't have an issue with Chelsea Green per se. I don't have an issue with Chelsea Green per se. Chelsea Green just talks too much, in my opinion. She is mouth almighty, tongue everlasting. Like, she is gonna tell. She is an old refrigerator. She can't keep nothing. Okay. And sometimes she just do weird shit. But other than that, Chelsea's a solid heel character, and she's funny. I find Chelsea to be hilarious. She a little on the tacky side sometimes, but I don't think that she's a bad character. In fact, I think that Chelsea is fairly solid. In this type of environment with WWE, I believe she will thrive the best because you're in an environment where you have the ability to be campy and you have the ability to be fun and to be outlandish and be crazy. And Chelsea is. The one thing I liked about Chelsea was she has a never give up style attitude. She's going to fight to the day she dies. Okay, she's gonna give you 1,000 ways to book her. She's gonna give you 1,000 ways to run her character. She's gonna volunteer to do whatever she can to keep herself in that space. So I respect her for that. She has a lot of never can, never say never type of attitude, and that's the kind of place you have to be in working in this type of industry, because you're going to get a lot of doors slammed in your face. And if you believe that you are what you say you are, then those doors slamming just mean there's a window you have to climb through. Simple as that. He said, I feel that too, Nicole, with the Miss Mystery bitch. I feel like that's Blair Davenport. That's either Tatum or Blair Davenport, but I'm going to stick with Blair Davenport. She does. She defo is funny. I don't know what a face Tiffany Stratton would be like. Would she be giving the money away? In this case, I think that letting Tiffany be a face is a surefire way to prove that she is what they've booked her to be, which is a top tier talent. I think Triple H's biggest problem when he was in NXT was like, he didn't know how to make sure the characters were multifaceted in the ones that weren't getting all the shine and weren't already set. So the guys like Peppermint Patty and the guys like Adam Cole, the guys like Johnny and Champa, they were the ones who you were seeing all the time. But you didn't really develop a guy like Ricochet, who has all of the showmanship in the world, but you put him on display. And in NXT, he can thrive because in that small pond, he was a big fish, given what he's capable of. But you put him on the main roster with those rest of those sharks, and he gets swallowed. So it was my problem with Triple H was him not allowing the characters to develop on that roster the way they needed to. Ricochet had to learn on the main roster as he went. Whereas guys like Adam Cole and guys like Undisputed Era and guys like I said, Peppermint Patty, they were already set. They were already ready to roll. They were good. You got to learn how to develop that talent. And I think when it came to Triple H, he relied so much on Dusty. And that's one thing that Nicole keeps saying over and over again. And she said it 1,000 times. And she's absolutely right. Triple H relied a lot on Dusty. And Dusty was that catalyst to help bridge that gap between you being a noob and you being a star player. You feel what I'm saying? He was the one who would go, hey. You got the star quality, you got the talent, you are it, but you got to give me more than what you give it. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that that's where William Regal comes in at. Because right after William Regal was rehired, NXT shit started to really pick up. Like talent started to really show up and show out. Like you started to see a lot of really cool things happening on that roster. I said it earlier tonight, and I was like, I think William Regal has something to do with that. I ain't trying to shit nothing on Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels is over there. We know what he's doing. We know what he's capable of. I'm just saying, I think William Regal has something to do with that too. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, Chelsea is funny. She very much is. I love her. Hello, Nika. I remember I was high as fuck listening to her podcast, and I was like, I can't. She talks too much. She does. But a podcast is the perfect place for a person who talks too much. Trust me. It's the facial expressions. I definitely want to be around her high as hell, though. Y'all know I like a bitch that can tell a joke. Same. I was like, her and Matt's house is loud. I know it. It gotta be. All right, y'all. So let's get to this final match. Carmelo Hayes defended his NXT championship against Brian Breakker. Brian Breakker came out there with his dog mask on and what did he have on his tights?
Meaner than evil.
Meaner than evil.
Some shit like that. I don't know.
I don't know what that means. I look at Braun Breaker and he's a heel, and I just want to laugh. Like what are you gonna do besides bite me? Like, You're him? Really? You sure? Like, had to pull a Charlotte on him, Jay. Like, you sure? You sure about that?
Right.
You sure? I'm not afraid of you. I feel like if I slap you on the nose with a roll of newspaper, you'll back off. So I feel like you don't give anything, but you just need to be tamed. And I'm pretty sure that your Bud Light woman does that. Okay, I'm pretty sure of that. In the words of Kenny, that Bud Light bitch, girl. Anyways, this was a good match. Carmelo did a little bit more groundwork. I feel like if I bust him on the front of his nose, he'll stop doing that. He'll calm down, right, with a roll of newspaper. Like, stop that, Brian. Sit, good boy, and give him a treat, and he'll be fine. All right. Oh, poor Kayla. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to give Braun Breaker a little bit of love today, and it's not gonna be the kind where we just say woo woo woo. It's gonna be a little tough. It's gonna be some tough love today, babe. You're gonna have to stick through it. Because Braun Breaker's been acting like a little bitch lately, okay? He's been acting like a little female dog, okay? And we're tired of it. We're sick of his shit. All right? Coming in there, interrupting matches and attacking people during matches that don't even have anything to do with him. Like, dude, attack the people who are giving you the problems. Why do you keep going after people who have nothing to do with you? What are you proving? What are you trying to prove, bro? Like, Braun Breaker, go to hell. Go to hell with your little bitch ass. Okay? Now, one thing that I want Carmelo Hayes to stop doing is when you're going up against guys like Braun and you're doing that high flying shit, you're going to get speared out of the air. And that's exactly what happened. Braun Breaker speared the fuck out of Carmelo Hayes today. I'm surprised that man back ain't hurting, okay? He speared the ever living shit out of Carmelo. If he had a farted during that spear, I would not be surprised. Because all that gas that be building up and you get speared like that, there ain't no way. There ain't no way, babe. Just ain't no way. Anyways, for the most part, this match was really, really good. And there was no interference from Trick, was it? It was a clean pin from Carmelo Hayes, which I can admit it's been a while, probably since Stand and Deliver. Stand and Deliver was the first time we had seen a clean pin for Carmelo in a long time. We had another clean pin over Braun Breaker today, which was very interesting. I don't know what Braun's gonna do. Maybe he's gonna move into the North American Championship situation and take that title off of Wesley. If he does, I won't be surprised. I mean, it seems like they're very high on Braun Breaker as well as Carmelo Hayes and Tiffany Stratton. And they seem to be ready to push other people. I want him to go up, Nicole. I really do, but I don't know. I don't think he's gonna go up. I don't think he is. I think he should, and I think he should go up as a heel. I don't think he should show up as a face. But I don't know what they're gonna do. I really don't. Ooh, they could put him with Odyssey and make them a faction, like make them a tag team and put them in the tag team division for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did. Really? I did not know that. She said they said he'll be up by SummerSlam.
Who?
Braun Breaker. I didn't know that. Very good. He said it's giving Ricochet. Fair. That's cool, Nicole. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All in all, we're glad that we still got one black champion at the top. Well, two. We got Wesley And we got Carmelo Hayes. So Wesley and Carmelo are still at the top. And they had this really cool infographic for NXT Battleground today, which I really, really liked. I thought that was fucking fire. It's very reminiscent of the old school infographics, the ones that I used to see Jim Cornette collecting and talking about. Very good. Not Wire Poodle. Bye, Pumpkin. Bye, Pumpkin. I can't. That's what the streets are saying. I hope the streets are right, Nicole. I'm being honest. Okay, so they had a very good show with NXT Battleground. Again, WWE swung and they hit it out the park 2 nights in a row. NXT Battleground was great. It was an amazing show. I really, really enjoyed it. And then last night we had Night of Champions, which was a great show in itself. They had an amazing showing with Jimmy and Jay Uso in the end. And this is something that I did want to talk about before I move into AEW's Double or Nothing. When it comes to this booking and how some of us have been complaining, including myself, we have been complaining, we're upset, we're mad. I do have to admit that Triple H was right in this instance. He did do it the way that I wanted him to. I just didn't have the pieces where he set them. I just wish that he would not have used Cody the way that he did and then pushed him all the way up for him to get knocked down like that. I understand Cody needs to have a story arc moment, but I feel like you could have, I don't know, I feel like this could have been done differently. And we wouldn't have had like, but and then at the same, well, if they did it differently, I don't know. I feel like on one hand, I feel like he did it right. I have to admit that. On one hand, I feel like Triple H did it right. And on the other hand, my heart wanted it to go differently. I wanted Roman to win, but maybe Cody didn't have to be the one to like move into this space of beating Roman. Maybe you could have went with Sammy as the one who competed against Roman at WrestleMania and then had the tag team titles taking off of somebody else. Like I don't know, give them to the Street Profits, give them to somebody else. But you could have had Sammy as the one who went up against them. But then I guess it wouldn't have made sense going to Night of Champions and all of that. So I guess in the end, Triple H's way was the best way. And you have to give him his props for that. I mean, he thinks 5-10 steps ahead of us. And while he knew the chapters were going to be how they were going to be written, we did not know that. And we as the public were just like, we felt real defeated. It's like reading a book. And when you get into the good part of the book, the hero doesn't win. And you're just like, the all is lost moment. You're like, what do you do now? Like, where do we go from here? And I mean, I have to admit that he gave us a story. And I don't think a lot of us appreciated it, but I think when we go back and we watch everything from start to finish, the rise and the fall of the bloodline, like that whole situation, when you really go back and watch it and look at it from start to finish, I think you'll appreciate it more because it was, I have to admit, it was well done. It really, really was. And as a consumer and as a viewer, I have to be more insightful about what I watched, but more specifically, I was invested in everything. And that's the thing that I was like, okay, you know what? I was invested in this and this was awesome. When you really, really look at it and you look back at the months, the years, you know what I'm saying? Like it really was good. It really was. I don't think people really appreciated it as much as they should have. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense, but like I said, it's giving DC movie. I would give it better than that. Like I would say it's given like Marvel like Marvel's second Spider-Man type of movie where it's good. It's good. It's very good, but it could have been better. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll rewatch this story. Living through it was enough for me. I will rewatch it because I feel like if I watch it again, I'll feel differently by watching it. And I like the story. Like if I could take all of the clips for the last 3 years and like put them together and make a whole like movie out of it, you know, I probably would feel better watching it again. Like not watching the matches all the way through because I can not deal with that. But like all of the clips, like you know what I'm saying? Like all of the clips. But he did play with our emotion. He definitely did. And that's what that's what made it good was the fact that he knew he was fucking with us. He knew that. He knew he was fucking with us. I mean, he knew that. He had to, but he did an excellent job. I have to give him props for that. I'm very curious as to where this is gonna go. Roman's 1,000 day, right, Don. Somebody gonna post it on YouTube. Roman's 1,000 days is headed to Friday on SmackDown. He's gonna be fucking pissed because Jimmy kicked him in his face. And if they put them in a steel cage and Jay Uso comes in there and saves him and Jimmy gets the win, that shit is going to destroy people, okay? If Jimmy is the one and not Jay Uso and anybody else, if Jimmy is the one to dethrone his cousin and become champion at SummerSlam, do you understand how epic that will fucking be? They're gonna blow the roof off that bitch. They're gonna blow the roof off of it. Are you kidding? It's a whole deception, disgrace, deception, disgrace. You know what, Don? That's facts. That is facts. They had a playlist on YouTube. I'm gonna go see. I didn't care when it was updated, but last time I saw it, it was up to an hour and a half. That's fine. Eat y'all up because so many people were saying that Jimmy ain't got the chops. You know what? That's true. That is very true. But we don't know what Jimmy's capable of. We were not seen. We didn't get shown what Jimmy was capable of. But it was a nice little swerve in the story because everybody expected it to be Jay Uso, right? But it was Jimmy the whole fucking time. It's gonna be real interesting. But like I said, the roles are gonna be reversed in this match if coming with Roman and Jimmy, and Jay Uso was gonna be the one to make the save against them in this match. I mean, it's gotta be like that. It's gotta be. Usually, Triple H don't always follow the line, but he tends to veer and cut and mix up a couple things, and then he finally gets to the final destination. Child. So we'll see. But I know what'll be sweet satisfaction is if like everybody he fucking beat, like everybody he beat comes in and like basically just serves him up with some type of special move they used on him at one point or wanted to use but couldn't do it because he kept taking people like I mean everybody. Like if WWE is just like, we just need to get Cesaro on loan for like 5 minutes. Cesaro coming there and like uppercuts him real good. Then they have Drew coming there and Claymore kick him. Like just make everybody come in there. Give us a moment. Give us a fucking moment. Somebody made a movie and it was 2 hours and a half. Oh God. I suspected Jimmy is always the ones that sit back. Okay, girl. You want your pat on the back? Do you want me to give you some flowers? Hold on, baby. I'm gonna give you some flowers so you can feel better. Let me get you some flowers, girl. Hold on. Let me get your flowers. Let me get them. He said yes. Yes, I. Let me see if I got it. Let me see. Let me see if I got the bouquet. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. I will not say that. Kiss my ass. Between you and Trish Stratus, I don't know who worse. With your petty ass. Shit. I had to do it for my other account, child, because you messy. I had to. Cesaro can be borrowed. We don't even have to see him. He could be all in all black, right? Right. Just let him come up like Randy. Yeah. Yes, very similar to that. Very similar. Okay. Cesaro can be borrowed. He could just be in all black. Nobody need to know. Nobody need to know. We give Cesaro a really quick check and then let him go back to Blackpool Combat Club, honey. There go your flowers, Don. See, there they go. Real pretty. You got some roses, some tulips in there, a sunflower. Oh, she said, good. I don't want to see him. Nicole. Ma'am, please. All right, y'all. I've been dreading it, but let's get to AEW all or double or nothing, child. Oh, okay. Now listen. So Orange Cassidy won. She said, I don't want to see that Swiss flop. I'm so tired of her. I don't know what to do. She is stupid. Hold on, while I change a few things, let me cleanse the palate. Period. Period. Oh, I love it.
I'm talking about Jimmy kicking the shit out of Roman.
Hell yeah. He couldn't take that shit no more. He tired of this shit. He snapped. I love it. I love every minute of it. Do it again. Do it again. He telling the truth, Jake. Fuck that nigga. Yes. All right, so you had to cleanse the palate a little bit and give you guys a little something else to work with, okay? Now, NXT has another pay-per-view. The Great American Bash is going to be in Cedar Park, Texas on July 30th. This is a premium live event, which means it is going to be exclusively on the Peacock Network, babe, okay? This is going to start at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific time. I love the Great American Bash. I think the Great American Bash is always a fun pay-per-view, and it always looks really nice and over the top. So I like the Great American Bash. I truly do. She said, I don't want to see that Swiss flop. Jesus be offense. Lord have mercy. Anyways, y'all save your calendars for the Great American Bash for NXT. I think it's going to be something to watch. This picture I saw on Twitter. I love this picture so much. I'm going to put this picture as my phone background. I'm putting it on my phone, okay? This picture it's just a telltale sign. Sammy did tell you that you was not getting them championships from them, and he made sure that you saw him with them titles, okay? Sammy wasn't playing with your ass. Sammy wasn't playing with your ass. He had your ass tore up, honey. Now I'm stalling because we got to talk about AEW Double or Nothing. All right. So I'm gonna go to Forbes.com because they do have the actual website up here. They have all the winners and the results of the show. Let me go. I'm gonna go look in a minute. Don said I had to see his Twitter header. I'm gonna go look in a minute. So Orange Cassidy won the Blackjack Battle Royal. Um, the final four in his Blackjack Battle Royal was Swerve Strickland, Big Bill, Pitta L0, M, and Orange Cassidy. The final two sequence was between Swerve and Cassidy, and Swerve was eliminated in the end, which good for him because I don't like fucking Swerve. So, period. Adam Cole beat Jericho in their unsanctioned match. That was weird to have an unsanctioned match in the. What's wrong, babe? A charger block? Did you see that black one that was on the bed? I don't think it'll fit that big.
It's not.
No, I had a small black one. Don't we? What happened to the black surge protector that we had plugged up back there? Did you get rid of it?
I didn't get rid of the surge protector, but when I pulled it, it wasn't nothing attached to it.
No, baby. There's a USB port on that surge. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, shit, I'm top of my head, man.
He needs to charge his phone. And I don't have any more blocks. Let me see where I'm at. I'm almost out of power on that. I don't have any more blocks up here, babe. I used to, but I don't. Look downstairs.
All the extra ones we had, we gave it to mom, and then she would have
She lost it.
She would lose it.
Look downstairs hold on, y'all. Look downstairs in the computer, in that computer bag next to Nana's computer. Look in there. If it's not in there, look over there where Auntie is sleeping at. If you can get over there, there's usually one in that surge protector. If you can't find it, just bring your phone back up here. I'll plug it up. I know you don't want it to be up here, but I need you to bring it up here so it can be plugged up. Or plug it into your daddy's Xbox. Plug it in there. Turn it on and plug it in there. She said, see, I forgot the unsanctioned match. Babes, it was a weird spot to put it in the middle of the show. That was weird. But it was the second match of the night. Which if you're being real, it was the first match of the night for the whole show. But I'm not going to shit on it because I didn't watch it. I'm just here to give y'all the results of it, okay? So Adam Cole beat Chris Jericho. It says the match began with the brawl. Sabu ran off the heels after doing a dive through a table wearing a suit. Who did he dive on? Adam Cole was in his street fight clothes, donning a tank top and black jeans. Considering how heated the feud was, it says on his website, because I needed to read this to figure out what it was. An unsanctioned match should have been first or last per rules. Well, it was first. It was the first match of the night. It wasn't last. It was the first match of the night. So it is what it is. Considering how heated this feud was headed into the night, there was very little heat for the first half of this match. And when Britt Baker ran in with the kendo stick, the crowd finally came alive when she pummeled Jericho with the stick. This underwhelming match. This shit is funny. This underwhelming match ended when Adam Cole pummeled Jericho with a chain, resulting in a ref stoppage. Fans booed the finish. That's how the match ended. I mean, okay. They gave that match a C+. They gave the Battle Royale a B+. So It is what it is. FTR defeated Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. That's no fucking surprise. Mark Briscoe was the referee for that, which I really loved. That was awesome. Yeah, it's unsatisfactory, but it is what it is. According to the writer for the Forbes article, it says Sanjay Dutt blocked Aubrey Edwards from running into the ring, and Karen Jarrett took out Aubrey with a weak guitar shot. Karen Jarrett got more heat than just about anybody with chants of "fuck you, Karen." Fuck you, Karen. That's cute. Jeff Jarrett and Mark Briscoe had a slap fight, which led to FDR winning with the big rig. Now, backstage, it says that Chris Jericho and Saraya had a meltdown and challenged Adam Cole and Britt Baker to a mixed tag team match. The segment ended with Jericho throwing a fireball in a backstage official's face. What is with the fireballs? What is happening? What? I guess. So that's not corny? Like that's like yeah, you're throwing fireballs now? Yeah. You're a wizard, Harry? Is that what it is? Are you gonna yell Confringo the next time you what the fuck are you doing? Oh my god. Nicole's favorite wrestler Wardlow defeated Christian. Yeah, it was another Anarchy in the Arena match. I don't know if they closed the show with that match or not, but there was another Anarchy in the Arena match. The Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club. Sure. I'm going to get to that in a second. Wardlow versus Christian got a B, and Wardlow beat Christian. It says that Wardlow tried to springboard onto the ladder while Christian was on it, and everybody crashed and burned. Wardlow seemed to have suffered a legitimate injury. Thankfully, he shook off the limp, and the match went on. It says Arn Anderson bit Luchasaurus's thumb in self-defense, causing his thumb to bleed profusely. Oh my God. Arn Anderson the spot of the match saw Wardlow perform a swanton bomb on Luchasaurus through the tables. Wardlow risked it all and was able to capture the tag team. Capture his recapture his TNT. What is it? TNT belt? It's a TNT belt, right? Isn't that what he has or had? Y'all know I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments. He had the TNT belt, right? They really like blood over there in AEW, so it is what it is. Tony Storm defeated Jamie Hayter in this massive upset. Like I don't understand what was going on here with this or why this was even allowed to happen. I'm confused. It was TNT. Thank you, Nicole. It was actually it was. I actually watched some of it. Ah, okay. He got razor blades or for teeth or something. It don't take much to cause somebody to bleed, but they could have bladed him so he would bleed like they wanted him to, which I don't like doing, but sure. What the fuck is up with Jeff? I'm getting to Jeff in a second. You mean Jeff Hardy? Because if we're talking about Jeff Hardy, I will get to him in a minute. It was TNT. It was TNT. Okay, thank y'all, because I couldn't remember which belt it was. They got so many over in AEW. It's hard for me to keep track. So Tony Storm beat Jamie Hayter. So I really want to read this because I genuinely don't understand this. This was the second match featuring outside interference from Britt Baker. Tony Storm obliterated Hayter with a running butt bump. The outside interference continued with Sheeta attacking Ruby Soho with the kendo stick. Tony Storm shockingly won the match with a Storm Zero, and fans were too shocked to react. So there was no reaction from anybody that she was able to beat Jamie Hayter for this title. I'm gonna say she shouldn't have beat her. I feel like they should have kept that title on to Hayter. They should have had Hayter beat all members of that faction, and then they should have had Jay take the title from her. I don't like the fact that Tony got that title. I don't like it. But it was Tony's decision. Do whatever the fuck you want. But I think it was a bad decision. That's all I'm saying. Because Jamie Hayter didn't even get a real chance to shine because you kept putting Britt Baker in the way to be the savior for everything when she's not even the fucking champion. You know, like you didn't really give her a chance. You just didn't, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I read she's legitimately hurt. That's why she dropped it. Okay. Fine. Now, according this match was added later because when I read the match card for this match was not on it. Um, you didn't know about the match between Tony. You didn't know I didn't. I thought you knew. They announced it and everything, but they didn't advertise it. They did announce it though. But I thought she knew. I'm shocked that she didn't know. Nicole usually knows everything. Like she usually knows everything. So that's shocking. But she's had a lot on her plate these last couple of days. So for Nicole not to know, you know she's been living her best life these last couple of days. So in this last couple of weeks, it's been a rough couple of months for Nicole. You didn't know it was for the title. Interesting. She usually knows everything though. Y'all know how Nicole is. She like an encyclopedia. She has everything cataloged and ready to roll. All right. So this match with House of Black and the Acclaim for the Trios Championships, that match came later. I didn't know they were adding this match, although it did say on the website that the card is subject to change at any point. So they added it later. The Acclaimed went up against House of Black. Despite AEW fumbling the bag with Acclaimed, it says right here on the Forbes website, fans went crazy for them when they answered the challenge. So House of Black had a open challenge on the card. And they basically came out there and was like, we're issuing an open challenge. And the Acclaimed answered said open challenge. Oh, Nicole said she didn't know there was a match. She was not aware of a match at all. I'm shocked that you didn't know that. I really am. Masscaster went 2 verses while roasting House of Black, where he asked how they can call themselves House of Black without any black guys in it. You know what? That's funny. That's funny. And then Caster also accused House of Black of doing blackface. Ooh, now they doing blackface, Jared. Child, that's messy, honey. Brody King is really getting over with his Who battle cry. There was another match where the crowd was quiet. This was another match where the crowd was quiet during long stretches. The crowd did come alive for Billy Gunn's Spirited Comeback, which featured a great fame asser on Brody King, who was turned inside out after running wild. Gunn ate a black mass and took the pin. Nicole said, I wasn't paying attention to AEW as much as I thought I was on Wednesday. Oh, I get you. This one right here, they gave them a B minus for an Acclaim versus House of Black. Jade Cargill beat Taya Valkyrie, but she ended up issuing a open challenge and lost her championship to Chris Statlander. Okay. Now, one thing about Jade was champion for 600 days. That is unheard of, especially for a black woman in wrestling. Now, you just saw Bianca she's the longest reigning champion of modern day history right now. There's nobody who's as great as she is, other than Roman, of course. And then you have Jade Cargill, on the other hand, undefeated and one of the longest reigning champions in AEW history. The black girls was up and doing the most. Now we just saw Bianca lose her championship this past Saturday. It never dawned on me that today Jade Cargill would lose hers, but she came out there in her AKA best, honey. And Big Boss Vets came out there with the pretty girl walk. I said, bitch, you better do it. Long weave down her back, honey. She was giving it all to the culture. All of it. She had her sisters out there stepping with her. They was all stepping. One thing about Jade, Miss Jade gonna give you a performance, okay? She gonna show you where it's at, okay? She did that. Okay. She came out there and showed up and showed out. Taya Valkyrie had a cute entrance too. I saw her entrance. But Jade Cargill said, I'm finna give you all of the black girls. I'm finna have all my sisters out here. We finna do it. We finna show you how these AKAs do it, honey. Okay. She was not playing. She wore her pink and green colors and she was living. And I'm here for it. She looked absolutely beautiful. She did amazing. Okay. She showed up for the culture. Showed up and showed out. Okay. She was not playing for you with you hoes. She came to slay, bitch. Okay. I loved every minute of it. I watched that entrance like 4 or 5 times. I think it's so great that Jade is smart enough to understand what representation looks like and how it should be displayed. And she had the opportunity, she had the platform to be able to do it. And for you to be able to put your people, it's all black girls, Big Boss Vet's a black woman out there doing this, showcasing her talent, singing one of the most popular songs of the year out there right now. You know what I'm saying? She came out there with her long weave, singing her song, doing her damn thing. And Jade came out there with all her sass, honey, all her presence. And that's what we love. That's what we love to see. Even though she maintained her championship up until Chris Statlander came back, Jade was one of the best champions AEW has had in their history. She has showcased what you can be and where you can go. As a black woman in the industry, she set a precedence, as did Bianca. Two black women in two of the biggest wrestling companies in the world has solidified themselves in history more ways over than not. And every time that they walk outside or every time that they move, they walk in that presence every single day. And you can see it when they walk, it radiates from them. And that's one thing about Jade that I really do respect and I really do love, is the fact that she is unrelentingly black. She understands her position and where she is and what she can showcase to you little black girls all over the world. So the girls like Jade and the girls like Bianca, y'all have really given little black girls a lot of hope in what they can become and what it looks like to be great on television. So I love that and respect that. Shout out to Queen Jade for her 600 days as TBS, well, 60-0 as TBS champion. She did get dethroned today, okay? Chris Statlander is your new TBS champion. She issued a challenge and it was accepted. And Chris Statlander came out. And they've been waiting for Chris Statlander to come back and be healthy to take this title off of Jade. And she did do that. I'm glad it was Chris Statlander because I feel like Chris Statlander has earned the right and the opportunity to be champion. And I think out of all of the girls, she probably is the most capable to she's probably the most capable to carry that legacy of that TBS championship. So good for her. Oh, they said it was an F, honey. Okay, so she did beat Taya and Chris was impromptu. Yes, Chris was impromptu. They gave this match an F. Let me see. Mark Sterling issued an open challenge after this match, bringing out Chris Statlander, who shockingly beat Jade Cargill in a quick match. How's AEW going to do Jade Cargill like that with the AKAs in the house? This was a good moment in the building, but more bad booking for Jade Cargill, whose 60th win was immediately railroaded. Yes, it was railroaded. I feel like they could have saved. It was a quick match, Don. It was a very quick match. She had just got done wrestling Taya Valkyrie. I feel like they could have saved her for All In. They're going to London. They could have easily. What's wrong?
No, just making sure there wasn't any up on you.
Okay. They could have easily saved this match for All In, but they rushed it and put that title on Chris Statlander. And I feel like they should have waited until All In to do this. They should have let Jay have her moment, let her move on, and then Chris Statlander challenge her, and they could have waited. But they did it immediately. It was right after her match with Taya Valkyrie that they let her do it.
Hell, they could have just let Chris Statlander accept the open challenge and not had a damn match that night.
I don't know, Don. Like, Jade has been stuck on Rampage for quite some time. Like, even as a champion at one point, I remember her being on AEW Dark. Like, I haven't seen Jade on Dynamite in months. So I don't know if I can say that it wasn't bad booking, but I think it was bad booking. I think it was because they didn't do that with Rosa. When Rosa got injured, they didn't do that with any of the other champions. Britt Baker got to have her moment in the spotlight, and then she got dethroned. They didn't do that with anybody else. It just seems a little disingenuous to cut her off at the knees like that. That wasn't right. So I mean, I get what they mean by it being bad booking. I do think that they could have waited. All right, so the final match of the night was the Fatal 4-Way, and MJF retained his championship. According to Alfred, Alfred is somebody I follow on Twitter. I love him. He's funny. Plus, he tells a lot of hard truths that a lot of people don't want to hear. He said Jungle Boy teased hitting Darby Allin with the belt, but when he did the right thing, he was booed anyway. He said, "My man can do no right." MJF wisely slid the belt onto Jungle Boy as Darby Allin hit the coffin drop on the weapon and won with a side headlock takeover. So MJF won his 4 pillars match. And fun fact, according to a lot of the dirt sheets, MJF is the one who wrote the idea and came up with the whole idea of the 4 pillars of AEW. And he's the one who called on these guys to be in this match and set up this feud with them. It was all done by MJF. So MJF has some pretty decent booking capabilities. He knows how to spring himself back into action, which is pretty fucking cool. Anyways, that was AEW Double or Nothing. I didn't get to see the show all the way through, but it seems like a lot of people had a lot of fun. Some of these things were extremely it was like some heavy breathing here. But all in all, it seems like AEW had a decent show. There were some spots I missed a match. The tag team match is what I missed. Right? The trios match. Where was that match? There was a match with Jeff Hardy. They hate Jungle Boy. They might as well turn Jungle Boy heel then. Um, it was Jeff Hardy. It was the Hardy Party versus who did they go up against? Not they booed him the whole time. Jesus. All the pretty girls walk like this. Pretty girl, I is. She said, I mean, he's boring as fuck. Poor Jungle Boy. Poor Jungle Boy. Nicole, give him a little bit. Give him a little bit. Don't do him like that. Jungle Boy can't help it. He can't help who he is. He can't help who he is. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Nicole said, no, fuck that nigga. She said, no, fuck that nigga. Oh, God. He pulled a Bailey. I have to respectfully agree. Nicole said he needs a manager. I agree. They pulled it. They pulled the media off of their web, off of the show for why? They pulled that match. They're pulling all of that media from that Jeff Hardy match off of the internet. Who did they go up against? They went up against somebody. Does anybody know who they went up against? Oh shit. Warlock, what are you doing? Whoa. Oh my God. Wardlow jumped off the top of that damn boy. Wardlow was ready to risk it all. Victorious in his in-ring return. Who the fuck did he go up against? Oh! Wardlow jumped off the top of that ladder and onto Luchasaurus, and I didn't see it. That shit was fucking gnarly. That was a good swan time. Okay, so I remember what happened. So yeah, I was talking about the match. Okay, so Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, and he definitely does. There's a clip that was going around of him on the socials, but the AEW has been pulling all of that shit from their from anybody who's been sharing a clip that is not authorized, I guess, or is not shared from them. Anything that looks bad, they're pulling off of the internet. And they pulled this particular clip that was on Twitter that showed Jeff Hardy botching this move in this ring. They say he tweaked his calf or whatever, but he had a match against Ethan Page and the Guns, and Ethan Page and the Guns lost. They lost. For whatever reason, Isaiah Cassidy wasn't in this match. He wasn't in this match. They switched him out for Hook. They put Hook in there, and yes, give it, give it to me. No, put it in the group chat so Nicole can see it because she gotta see it. Because I can't post it because they'll flag my account if I post it. But anyway, they won, but Isaiah Cassidy was supposed to be in this match. So I don't know if Ethan Page and them attacked Isaiah Cassidy and they had to replace him or what was going on. But yeah. So there's that. It is what it is. His partner is injured, correct? I want to say yes, but Nicole would be a better person to answer that question than me because I have no freaking clue. Because I don't watch that show enough to be involved in it. I know that he had a partner at one point, but I haven't seen his partner back in AEW in a while, and I've seen Cassidy with Matt Hardy and them more over than not. Like he's always been with them, and I've been trying to figure out like what is the purpose of him being with them? Like what? Oh, okay. Oh shit. Okay, I got the clip. He fell, child. He fell. He just he fell off the top rope. They gonna say he did it on purpose for sure, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Woo! Had to drink. Give me something to drink, child. I haven't seen him either. I've been trying to figure it out, but nobody's posting nothing. And I don't know what happened to him. I'm like, he just disappeared. I'm hoping his ass is sober because what the hell? It seemed like he slipped on purpose, but because he had a tweaked calf. They did tweak his calf in the match and he fell off the top rope. I think it was a bit dramatic with selling the injury that he had, and I think that's what happened. Is that he oversold it. Either way, like yeah. I think a torn something in his leg. Okay, so he's injured again. He been injured majority of their career. They can't get out the blocks because he been injured. That's a lot. That's a lot. I hope he gets better and this time he can come back and wrestle. Like this is on some Tegan Knox type shit. Like what the hell? All the pretty girls rock like this. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-views. It's been a lot of fucking wrestling. Like it's been a lot of wrestling. I am so exhausted. Like from going out with my dad for his birthday and like we went out to eat today. My mom gave him this really really nice birthday present. We all went out to eat. Yesterday we went to the park and ate and watched the kids play and have picnic out there and gave my nephew cupcakes for graduating and we all went out to eat today. And tomorrow we're going to my big mama's house and we're going to go eat over there and spend some time with her. This whole week has just been about my dad, like all of us. And we're all been here. We've all been here, except for my older sister. She couldn't make it. But we were all here for my dad and he had a wonderful time. And I'm glad that he was happy this weekend. Hopefully Father's Day we can do it even bigger and have a really good time. And my uncle came and my aunt came and it was a good day for my dad. So I'd be like, with all due respect, I gotta get a new partner, right? Right? Like, I don't mean it. I don't mean no harm by it because I'm sure he's frustrated with being injured. I'm sure he is, but it's just like, geez, like God, my goodness. Anyways, y'all, we are done. If you're ready to go, you can go. I appreciate you for coming around. If you listen to this in the playback, please do your girl a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that button and make sure you go ahead and click that bell so it will tell you when I am live. If you got some time and you want to watch or listen to some other podcasts, do me a solid and go to our podcast. It is over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. It's everywhere. You can also find us on Twitter and on Instagram. I try to post everything as much as I can, but sometimes I forget, y'all. I really do. Y'all can head on over to We Love Wrestling too. They have a lot of information that's outside of just WWE, AEW, and everything else. You can find so much stuff over there. You'll see a lot of those girls pop up that Trey talks about. You'll see a lot of those girls pop up on WWE or AEW or even Impact. Like you'll see these girls pop up that he be featuring on his podcast and shows. Nicole is over there a lot doing a lot of interviews and stuff, and she helps represent for the podcast through Trey D. And that's the wrestling. That's our podcast fam. We love him, and I appreciate him for everything that he's done for my page and for our podcast. He's really been a massive help. I don't think we would have gotten to where we are without him, so I appreciate it more than he knows. If you want the mess and you want all the drama, you can go on over to YouTube. We'll stay over here on YouTube and head on over to AT2. He has everything. So all of the gossip, all of the bullshit that comes out in the media and in the news, AT2 covers just about everything. You can go over there and he has his lives that he runs. AT2 goes live at least 2 or 3 times a day because every single day something new is coming out. So he goes live and puts stuff out all the time. He covers Love After Lockup. He covers Real Housewives of Atlanta, just about all the Real Housewives mess. He covers sometimes he used to cover Married at First Sight and 90 Day Fiance. I'm not sure if he still covers that, but you can head on over there and he has a plethora of content. He covers all the YouTube drama as well with like Tasha K and the people she used to roll tough with. And then these newcomers that blossom up and start making their way into YouTube and start getting into drama. He covers that shit. So he has a plethora of information over there. All of it is messy gossip. But if you into that shit, go over there and follow AT2. He'll give you a little bit to get into. You definitely should go over and follow Marks with Mikes. They cover wrestling extensively as well. You can listen to them. Go over to Get Your Podcast and listen to them over there. I love Get Your Podcast. It's such a good place. And you can go on over to Smacking It Raw. We've been featured on Smacking It Raw. Go over there and check out their podcast. There's so many podcasts that y'all can get into besides ours, but I want y'all to get into ours. Our podcast is superior. I don't care what nobody says. Anyways, make sure you guys go and check our podcast out, as well as the several others I've listed, and go listen to the KTT podcast. I have a couple of podcasts I have to do this week. I'm definitely going to be covering Danae Jackson's feature on the Dear Wifey podcast because baby sis dropped some tea and I have some clarity for you on her mindset and where she is. And girl, when you hear all the shit that Jared Jackson was doing and the mess, honey, I gotta do a little bit more research before I do that podcast, but that podcast is coming. I have a Red Rum episode that I have to do. That's going to be on a woman named Corey Richens, who basically killed her husband for the insurance money and then wrote a children's book about grief and grieving, about kids and young kids grieving their father. And it's so narcissistic. And this lady was out of box bonkers. Okay, I'm gonna do a podcast on her. I did do an update on Bob Lee's situation. You gotta go check that out. I always have Pop Culture Wednesday, and I do Am I the Asshole Friday. I'm gonna get that stuff done this week, and y'all gonna have new podcasts all week. I just gotta get myself into the groove of doing podcasts again. I took about 2 weeks off. This week was my father's birthday, so I didn't get the chance to do anything this week, but I got y'all. I'm going to be working all week getting the podcast ready. So just bear with me, okay? With all that being said, I got to get into Portrayal. Okay, send me the link. I'll listen to it. With all that being said, thank y'all so much for being here. If you're listening to this in the playback again, do not forget to subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I will see y'all Monday after Monday Night Raw. All right? Peace.
Thank y'all so much for being here, and I appreciate every single one of you guys for being a part of my show. Please be sure to check out my wrestling podcast, Down for the Count, with my girls, and of course, the personal podcast with the entertainment, pop culture, and news of the KTT podcast. Like I said before, we have pop culture that we just love to talk about. Okay, pop culture includes any and all celebrity news. I have the Red Rum True Crime series where I talk about all of the stories in the news that have to do with murder and anything very, very high profile in terms of murder. And of course, we have Am I the Asshole Fridays and Twitter stories. That includes my personal recap of the SBC chat and of course, some Reddit Am I the Asshole stories that need my advice, honey, because I just love to talk. So, if you love me, please do me a favor, run on over there and follow both of my podcasts, because the wrestling podcast is where it's at when it comes to the wrestling. The girls always got it handled on that front, but y'all, my other podcast is my personal baby, and I really want it to pop off. So go over there and follow both of them. They're both available on Spotify, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in our next one. Bye.